Do we have microphone things? Excellent. Well, thanks everybody who's tuned in or popping in. I was going to make a video today, or a bunch of little videos, about each of our buddy bags. And I thought I might as well do it live. It is Buddy Bag Week. Buddy bags are on special this week. So it's a great time to learn a little bit about them and see how they might work into your craft supply world. So because I'm going to use this as choppy little videos for each buddy bag, or I'm going to try, it might be kind of a little bit weird, like how I'm talking. So just keep that in mind that I'm going to have to cut this up. So welcome to the madness here. We have some new computer equipment. We're not really sure that it's the right type of equipment, but you're on board. So thanks for joining me today. Well, I talk a little bit about buddy bags. If you're unfamiliar with our buddy bag products, they are lightweight, clear, inexpensive, portable, multi-purpose organization tools that can be used at home or on the go. And if you're using them on the go, our Laura 2.0 tote or our lowest bag are great ways to move them around. So I'll load them up in there a little bit later in the talk. All right, so I'm just going to, over here in my nice IKEA shelving, I have loaded the top shelves with just a plethora of buddy bags. And so one of the things that is one of the ways that's really easy to organize and get the maximum use out of your space is by having a shelving unit in your craft room or in your closet that has super adjustable shelves. One of the cool things about owning a drill is that if the shelves don't have the right heights, you can just drill new holes. So keep that in mind. If you're having trouble or you're wasting a bunch of space between shelves, you may just need to drill a couple more holes and tighten that up. And that's going to give you sort of maximize your craft space in that shelving unit, which is kind of what we've done here, right? So I'm going to start here with Sue. I'm going to start on the bottom. So Sue, she got her name tag on, was designed to hold Stampin' Up! Ink pads. She is 8 by 4.5 by 4 by 4.25 by 4.5. Sue kind of opens long ways like this to expose that inside box and tray. So if you're unfamiliar with buddy bags, all of them have this little insert tray, right? And these trays just fold together. So when you get your buddy bags, these trays are going to be inside the packaging, and they're super lightweight. They're hard to see. Some people don't even realize that they're in there. So you want to find that little tray, pull there's like a little protective layer of wrap on there. And then it's really easy to just slide the tabs into the holes, into the notches, into the holes. And now you've created that little, it's a little bit easier if you have your glasses on. So I may have to do that. Oh, there we go. Got it. Right. All of them kind of go together the same way. So now I've got the box and the little insert box. This is the reason that the buddy bags maintain their shape, the integrity of their shape when you're using them. So the Sue buddy bag, let's see her in use here. She is perfect, as I mentioned, for Stampin' Up! Ink pads, right? She'll hold 10. And one of the nice things about Sue is if you turn her on her back like this, rather than storing her like this, then you're also keeping your ink pads nice and neat and flat. So the Stampin' Up! Ink pads, now you can see, I don't know if you can zoom in there, you can see at the bottom, one of my ink pads leaked. Not this time, I already cleaned it up, but there's ink all over the outside. Well, but because she was in my tote bag all closed up like this, it didn't matter that she leaked, the ink didn't get on anything, and I was able to just wipe it right off the plastic of the bag. So another nice thing is that they're easy to clean. So perfect for so many different things. Most of these buddy bags are going to be useful for other things as well. So this is just a little first aid kit. It has everything that you need. Maybe you're going to put it in your car or your motorhome, or maybe you just you have first aid. You want to have a little first aid kit in the garage and one in the bathroom. So it's a perfect way to sort of put all those basic things together. And again, lightweight, clear, visible, all that stuff. So Sue is super useful, and especially useful if you are using the Stampin' Up!, that's the flip type ink pad. There is a new size of Stampin' Up! Ink pad, and I'm going to ask my lovely videographer, Lynette, can you grab the red one right there? She doesn't want to get in the picture, people. So this is the new size, and I'm going to figure out during the course of this video which size that fits in. So, but let's talk about Barbara. Barbara has not one, but two of the clear boxes on the inside. So Barbara is 7 by 3 3/4 by 5 1/2. And Barbara was designed to hold the Close to My Heart magnetic ink pads. So you can see a whole family of the Close to My Heart magnetic ink pads store nicely in Barbara. Now, when you're using them, you are going to just open that bag up, and then you'll be able to pull your ink pads in and out nice and easy. When you're storing, and this is a regular question, I don't want to have my inks vertically. When you're storing Barbara, just tip her on her side, load it with those ink pads, put your ink pads in upside down if you want, and now you're storing. It's super easy to store them and keep them flat like the manufacturer recommends. So the Barbara, again, is a perfect solution for your Close to My Heart ink pads. And also, these big flat punches kind of are challenging for people, right? But they're going to fit nicely in the Barbara bag as well. And finally, last but not least, with Barbara, now all of the buddy bags have this nice little handle at the end. So when they're on the shelf, you can label them at the end with what's in there and then just be able to pull that on and off the shelf. Super easy. So taller paints, sprays, adhesives. If you sew, this is a great way to store things like rickrack, bias tape, and that type of thing are all going to pack nicely into your Barbara buddy bag. So Barbara, originally designed for the Close to My Heart ink pads, is a perfect fit for a lot of other things as well. I'm going to jump over here and talk about Karen. Karen is one of the favorites. Karen comes by herself as the Karen buddy bag. And this bag is also the bag that you'll find included in the Crazy for Card Making kit, which includes the Karen buddy bag, stamp pockets, and sticky die storage cards. So let's see what those look like in here. Oh, I don't have the sticky die storage cards. I just have the stamp pockets, right? So the stamp pockets are a 5x7 pocket, and they're perfect for storing your stamps and dies together, and they fit perfectly in the Karen bag. Since Karen was designed around card making, she's also a great place to store your, I'm making a mess with my desk here. She's also a great place to store your cards and card blanks. So I've got 5x7 and 4x6 cards and card blanks in here. She's got this nice angle, so it's easy to see everything that you've got, almost like a little recipe file of card making supplies. So that is the Karen buddy bag. And over here, I've got Shelley, and Shelley is one of our favorites. She's been around a long time. She's 11.5 inches long, 2 inches wide, and 2 inches high. Shelley was designed around one of my obsessions, washi tape. So let's see. I've got two Shelley washi tapes here. But you can see this one's all Halloween, and this one's all travel stuff, right? So the number of rolls of washi tape that you are going to fit into a Shelley bag is going to vary up to 20 rolls. It just depends on how wide they are. So if you have, you've got 11 inches. So if you have half-inch rolls, you're going to get the 20 in there because they actually, the half-inch rolls are actually a little bit bigger than half-inch. But the smaller rolls, you can see a nice mix and match. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I've got 16 rolls in there in just a variety of sizes. But it's a great way to organize your washi tape by holiday, by theme, by color, whatever, however you want to do it. And then one of the other features of these bags is that if you're dropping them into your crop tote, you can drop them in vertically, and now you're using all that space right inside your tote, and you can pull them in and out easily by the little handle at the end. So add a label to the end of each of your buddy bags, and you'll be able to find those things quickly and easily in your stash, even if they're on a shelf. So also a great match for thread. So if you want to keep your thread grouped together by color, this is a great way to do it in the Shelley bag. How about your memento inks, right? These little ink guys, they pop open. So getting them into a buddy bag is a great choice. Again, this is the Shelley bag, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. You've got 16 Memento inks in there, all neat and tidy. You can see all the colors. Super simple. Oh, I think that's it for Shelley for the moment. Now, each of these buddy bags, all the ones that I'm showing to you, there are just a plethora of uses for each of them. I'm just kind of touching on a few. So if you click on the buddy bag on the website and then click on the More Photos tab, you'll see a variety of different uses for each of the bags. So there are more uses than I'm even showing here. So we'll put Shelley back here. But imagine if you had your shelves in your craft room or your craft closet or your tote just lined up with these little buddy bags, and you could easily just pull off what you wanted. So Theresa is our next girl here, and I didn't take her little cheat note out, but she is 11.5 by 1.5 by 2.8. So the height is going to vary based on what you have in the bag, whether you're pulling it flat or whether it's something that's standing up. So Theresa is a great option for things like re-inkers, glitter glue, small bottles of glitter. Again, visible, accessible, easy to travel with, easy to store on a shelf. Right? If you love to do shaker cards, you have all these great little Queen and Company shaker shapes, they're going to fit perfectly in the Theresa bag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I've got 14 in there. I bet you could get 20 of the little shaker shape sort of Tic Tac boxes into the Theresa bag. Now I said Tic Tac boxes, but actual Tic Tac, this is a Tic Tac style box, I should say. The actual Tic Tac boxes are a little bit larger, so they're not going to fit in there. Just heads up on that. If you sew, again, this is a great place to store things like zippers, right? Things that just kind of roam around in your sewing space. Group those zippers together by color, store them on a shelf or in a drawer. It's a perfect way to keep those things contained and accessible. Stephanie Bernard fans. A whole family of miniature Stephanie Bernard inks is what I've got in here. And I've also got my blender for ink tool, right? And it's a little bit hard to see, but I've taken each of the blender for ink pads for each color of ink that I have, and I just slid them in between the edge of the buddy bag and the little plastic tray that's in there, and that holds them nice and tight. And again, if the ink gets on the bag, I can just wipe it off. But they're nice and snug in there. Put this back. Close it up. So they're nice and snug. The pads don't move around. So my tiny Stephanie Bernard families of inks are easy to see, easy to use. Now, these are color box. Stephanie works with color box to develop her inks. So if you're also using the small color box inks, they're going to fit in the Theresa bag as well. Next up, we've got Terry. We call her Tall Terry. She's for long, skinny markers. And Terry is 4 by 2.5 by 8. So when we talk about the best markers to fit in the Terry bag, this is where you're going to put your Tombow, your La Plume. You can also put the Zig style markers, which is similar to Stampin' Up! And Tim Holtz, Artist Loft. So the little bit longer markers, this is the perfect bag for storing those. And you see that I just rolled the top back, and there's another piece of hook and loop fabric on the back. So when I'm using it, I can pull those markers in and out really easily. But when I'm storing it, I can close it up. And if I'm using double tipped markers that I want to store flat, I can store it flat this way, or I can store it flat this way. However, it's going to fit best on my shelf or in my tote. So you have that functionality of being able to use it straight up and down, but also storing it flat so you can keep those markers flat, like that, as if your manufacturer recommends that. So Tall Terry also is a very handy girl for a little picnic pack. So in this, so this usually is what I throw in the trunk of my car in the summertime. And I've got napkins, straws, forks, knives, spoons, all tucked in there. So if we're going to have a little picnic, everything is right there. So it's easy to get to. Again, easy to see, easy to use. So that is the Tall Terry Buddy Bag. Now, if you're already using buddy bags and you have some other uses for these bags, we would love for you to share those ideas with us. Send us a picture. We can get it up in our Facebook group. We can add it to the item on our website. People love to see what other people are doing with their products. Next row, we've got Leanne. And Leanne is one of our newest buddy bags. And you'll notice that she's not clear. Leanne is not clear. Oh, dear. Leanne is great for heavier, bulkier things. Punches, tools, kind of a catch-all for all those sort of odds and ends that you need to throw in somewhere so that you can put your hot glue gun in here. You can put other small electric tools. Maybe you have the wireless hot glue gun from We Are. All those things are going to fit in here along with your favorite corner punch. Leanne, you can put 3 Leanne bags into the Laura tote. So if you're toting a bunch of bulky stuff, Leanne might be the way to go on that. She's 12 3/4 inches long by 4.5 wide by 4 3/4 inches tall. So that is the Leanne. I have all my little cheat notes floating around here. Great option for craft paints, right? So Leanne, like Sue, is one of the bags that has closures on all 3 sides. So that keeps everything nice and neat and tidy, kind of sealed in. I stored these paints upside down just because it's easier to see the colors. I know sometimes the lids have the little dot on them, but not always. So we just put them all in upside down, and now you can see all the colors of those paints right there. Whoop. Also a great way to store and organize your fat quarters and other quilting supplies. So one of the gals that was at HSN with me last time was working on a project. She had everything in her Leanne bag. I just thought, oh, that's a brilliant way to put all of the pieces that you're using together in one place. So I'm not a quilter, but she really liked how that was working out for her. So that's Leanne. Next up, who I threw on the floor, is Monica. And Monica has been around since the very beginning. She's been one of our most popular girls from the get-go. Monica is 4x6 by 3. So she's great for things like photos, for 4x6 embossing folders, anything like that. Really just a great generic little storage bag. She'll fit a variety of different types of ink pads. So this is, these are close to my heart, older and newer style, color box, recollections, anything that's kind of got that oval, that elongated, what is it called, an oblong, like a rounded rectangle, are going to fit perfectly in the Monica bag. Again, 4x6, so things like Project Life cards. You can put the 4x6 cards and then stack your 3x4 cards in front of them by collection. Again, photos by event, especially if you're going to take them with you to a crafting event and you just want to get them all organized. So Monica is a great option. One of the other things that we strongly recommend doing, I'm looking here I know I had one that so all of these have a label inside them because they're the samples that I use when I'm on the road. But if you just cut the name off the packaging of each of your buddy bags and put it in the bottom of the bag, when you say, oh, I love this bag, but I can't remember what girl it is, who it is. And, Shelley and Theresa, to the untrained eye, look very similar. So it's hard to know exactly which one you're getting. So you can write the name on the little tray in the bottom or just cut the name off the packaging and put it in there. And then when you need a different one or another one, you'll know which girl you're after. Okay, Monica, and then Gail. Here we go with Gail. Gail, again, 11.5 inches long, and she is tall enough to hold paints and sprays, right? So you can get up to 8 in there depending on which brand and how big around they are. But a great way to store paints and sprays either by manufacturer or by project or by color. She also is a great way to combine things, ink collection. So this is an entire family of Stephanie Bernard color box inks, the large and the small. There's plenty of room in there if I wanted to put the blending pads and the blender for ink tool all in one place. So again, you can use them standing up. Now, Stephanie says, my inks are super juicy. You don't have to lay them flat. But if you like to keep them flat, you're just going to turn that bag on its side. And again, you're able to store your ink pads flat. So she's perfect for paints and sprays and ink pads. One of my favorite uses for Gail is for all my small tape runners, because when I'm at an event, I can take those tape runners, fold back the lid of my Gail bag, and have them all sort of standing up. So they're really easy to access. Another good use for Gail, I'm just saying, that if you like to travel with a, your own little mini bar, perhaps, maybe you're going to a crafting event and you want to be able to prepare a refreshment when you're there, you can also fit 2, 4, 6, 7 little mini bottles in your Gail bag. So she's very versatile. She's a very versatile girl. So that is the Gail Buddy bag. I want you to notice as I'm sliding these off and on the shelves, again, that if you can take a space and condense it down and really make it friendly to that depth or that height of the buddy bags, you can really maximize your space, whether it's in a closet or on a shelf or even in a drawer if you're standing them up vertically. So it's one of the nice things about this product line. The Edna is one of our most popular buddy bags. She's 11.5 by 3.5 wide by 2.5 or 3 inches tall, again, depending on what you have stored in Edna. Now, people always find Edna perplexing because Edna was designed for ribbon. So when you look at her loaded with ribbons, so these are all spring ribbons, she looks like she's got a rounded top. If you're using her for ribbon, you can actually split apart the hook and loop fabric and pull the ribbons through, and now you've got this nice ribbon dispenser at the same time. But when you load her with Tim Holtz inks, now she looks very square instead of rounded, right? So you can get up to 19 Tim Holtz Distress inks in the Edna bag. And again, when you're storing them, you can store it, you can stand it on its end so that all those ink pads stay flat. You can put the ink pads in upside down. So when you stand it on its end, they're upside down. Now, I'll share a little mistake with you that I made. When I labeled, I put just a label maker label on the outside of each one. And when I labeled it, I didn't think about the fact that I was going to store my ink pads upside down. So I put the label on right side up. But if I was actually going to store them upside down, all those labels would be upside down. So if you like to store them upside down, put your label for your Tim Holtz ink pads upside down on the container there. I also added a little grid on the inside because there is no color indicator, right? Like so many of the other inks will have the color indicator on the package. The Tim Holtz inks do not. So the name of the ink is here, and then a little sample of what color that is on the edge there. So if you haven't tuned in for one of my color organizing classes, we talk about that, using that type of cataloging technique and color organization. So Edna, also very versatile for other things. So this is just a bunch of sewing tools and supplies, right? So if you're traveling with anything where you need to just sort of gather everything up and have it with you, the Edna bag might be a good choice. So knitting needles, bias tape, there's all kinds of stuff in there. Another sort of out-of-the-box use for Edna, this is a travel kit for our little dog Petey. So I have a Tupperware that I can put water in. I have a leash, food, a flashlight, poop bags. Everything's in there. So this is kind of an emergency kit that can travel with us or just stay underneath the seat of my car. So if I get stuck somewhere and I need to feed the dog, or I need to take the dog for a walk or give him water, I've got everything I need kind of packed into this nice, tidy little package. So there are so many options where these bags are concerned. If you're using them, I know you're finding other things besides just what they were actually designed for. Like Edna, she was designed specifically for ribbon, and probably the favorite use for her has become the Tim Holtz ink pads. This is Deborah. She is a shorter version of Terry, or I guess I should say Terry is a taller version of Deborah, but she was designed again to hold markers of all different types, a little bit shorter. So let's compare Terry, just so you have an idea. So Terry is great for tall markers, and Deborah is great for shorter markers. The reason the design is that when I am working with something, I want it to be easy to grab. So by cutting off the top of the bag at this height, it's really easy for me to grab those markers right out of the bag. Again, the Terry bag was designed for taller markers, but you can put shorter markers in as well. And you can see they just drop down a little bit, so they're a little bit harder to grab out of there. But you can use it for both heights. But if you mostly use the shorter markers, Copic, Spectrum Noir, Colorista, this little funky brand, which I don't know the name of. Jane Davenport, the Jane Davenport markers, they all fit nicely in Deborah as compared to the Terry bag. Things like gel pens are a no-brainer. They all fit in there nice and neat, perfectly. Again, visible, accessible, so easy to get your hands on. Now, that little bit longer style markers, Stampin' Up, Tim Holtz, Zig, those fit nicely in Deborah, right? But they also fit nicely and stick up over the top a little bit in your Terry bag. So depending on what type of markers you have, what you have to mix and match together, Deborah is great for shorter markers, Terry great for taller markers. Both of them have the same functionality of closing up the flaps so that you can store them flat, but when you're using them, you can pull things in and out of them quickly and easily. Deborah will also work as a little picnic, utensil pack, but she's not quite tall enough for straws and stuff, so keep that in mind. Okay, who's next? Let's talk about Brandy. Brandy came into being because I am a ruler junkie, and I was constantly looking for somewhere rip-in rulers, centering rulers, clear rulers, wooden rulers, metal rulers, all the different types of rulers that we might be working with when we're paper crafting. And it was difficult to find a place to store them. So into the Brandy Buddy bag they went. This is also a great tool for, I can't think of what they're called right now, but it's going to come to me, for matting templates, right? So there's a couple of different manufacturers out there that are layering templates, layering guides. So those fit in there really nicely as well. And then, as I said, rip-in rulers are great. Clear and centering rulers, journaling rulers, wooden rulers, they're all in there. Super easy to drop into my tote. Again, perfect for the Laura tote or the Lois tote. And I'll load those up at the end, kind of show you what that looks like. Also a great place for your Kiwi Lane border templates. So if you have a ton of Kiwi Lane border templates and you like to travel with them, this is a great place to put those. So if you're unfamiliar with Kiwi Lane border templates, they are designed so that you can cut things out like this to make great, borders and designs on your pages. But all of those borders, you can literally get dozens of Kiwi Lane border systems into one Brandy bag, and then it is visible and portable, and it's lightweight, and it's inexpensive. There are so many reasons to just love this product line. It's so functional. Ooh, last but not least, if you've got a bunch of those super long paintbrushes, which are also very difficult to store because of the length, Brandy is a great place for storing those long paintbrushes as well. And again, you have that added layer of protection because, she's a plastic bag. So if things are kind of messy, it's easy to just wipe them off. All right, who's up here next? Who do we have here? Irene. I keep just throwing my little notes on the floor. Irene, again, is a 4x6 buddy bag, but she has 2 layers of loop fabric on the front. And that allows you to tighten her up. So if you've got 9 or 10 Tim Holtz oxide inks in there, you're going to tighten it up. If you've got something tall in there, you're going to use that top one, and that's just going to give you a little bit more height when you're using Irene. So here's an example. I've got tall things and short things in here. So ink pads and Quick Quotes inks. Quick Quotes inks, 16 Quick Quotes inks will fit into the Irene buddy bag. So if you love Quick Quotes, this is a great choice for keeping up to 16 of those. If you're a junkie for Quick Quotes and you want to keep them all together, I believe the Leanne buddy bag will hold like 50 Quick Quotes inks all together in one place. But you've also got Stampers Fun Journey, Color Box, anything that's that size and shape are going to fit in your Irene bag. And again, you can put them in upside down and you can store them standing if you want to keep those ink pads flat. If you have Quick Quotes and you want to keep them flat, you're just going to turn it on its side, and that's going to keep those flat for you as well. So it's also a good place to store little goodies. So if you've got, a bunch of flowers and you're not sure what to do with them, I'm recommending you put those in your color section, but it's a great way to have those things visible and accessible and see what you have, and it keeps them a little bit protected. The box that's in there will crush down a little bit, but it won't break, so it is a good tool for traveling with as well. Okay, and last but not least, we have our girl Dawn, and Dawn has 4 interior. She's got, let's stick with the 4. She's got 4 interior boxes, and she was designed to hold little things and keep them straight up and down. So you can get 3 or 4 Quick Quotes inks in each box. You can get 9 or 10 gelatos. So this one we kind of have loaded up with just a variety of things. So we've got gelatos, glitter glues, tape runners or adhesive runners here, glue sticks, and then there's some of those Quick Quotes inks. But you can see how she just keeps everything nice and neat. Things don't fall over in there because she does have that all those little boxes, all 4 boxes. And then the double loop closure allows you to close it up tight and keep it short, or you can use that top layer and have it a little bit taller. So one thing that she's kind of a natural for, if you're a tea drinker and you're looking for a way to store and organize tea bags or travel with them or keep them in your desk at work, this is a great option for keeping a variety of teas. Again, visible, accessible, lightweight, all of those things. And last but not least, she's great for button storage. So if you sew and you're constantly chasing buttons around a drawer or just kind of a collection in a big box or a bin or basket, separate them out by color into a Dawn buddy bag, and you'll be able to find them. Again, know what you have, and then also look for them just by the color that you want to work with your project. All right, then. What I needed to figure out was where this brand new Stampin' Up! Pad was going to fit best. So let's take a quick look at Leanne. And I'm going to guess that in the Leanne bag, you can get them vertically and you can get a whole bunch in there. I'm estimating she's about, she's bigger than a 1/4 inch, but less than a half. And Leanne, I think, is 12 inches. So you're going to easily be able to get 20, maybe 24 of the Stampin' Up! Ink pads, the new ones, into a Leanne buddy bag. She's a little bit of a fatty, right? Let's see if she'll fit in Sue. Maybe. Maybe she'll also fit in the Sue bag. I think she might be 2. So they might fit in the Sue bag. It's difficult to tell when you only have one because of how far it's going to push out the top. But you might also be able to get your Stampin' Up! Pads, the new ones, into the Sue bag, which was designed for the other shape of Stampin' Up! Bag, or Stampin' Up! Ink pads. So now I'll show you just quickly about loading your buddy bags into one of the totes. So the lowest tote was designed originally all clear, and then you all started loading them up with lots of stuff, and we thought we better add a protective edge around the bottom. So the lowest 2.0 has that fabric edge around the bottom, which makes her a little bit more sturdy. But she really is a master for buddy bags. And one of the things that I love about Lois is that clear factor, right? So you can really literally see into the bag all the different things that you've got. Did I talk about Denise? I don't think so. I think I skipped Denise. Oh my gosh, that's so sad. Don't feel left out, Denise. I'll talk about you now. Denise, it was designed for dies and stamps. She fits our medium size die stamp and die stamp and stencil pockets. She opens all the way back like this. She's got 3 individual file boxes on the inside, and that's what keeps those dies and stamps straight up and down and easy to find. So you can categorize and label your stamps. Use our Shut Your Flap tabs to label them. So if you've got stamp sets that are protected by acetate, those are going to slide right in there. But if you want to use our medium stamp pockets, it's really easy to gather up your stamps or dies, put them in those stamp pockets, right? Organize them by theme, shapes, right? You can see them, you can get to them, you can use them. And if you travel with your supplies, they're very portable in the Denise bag. So Denise was originally designed for organizing dies and stamps, so you could keep those dies and stamps together. But one of the things that people have fallen in love with the Denise for is her ability to hold markers. I think Karen is on board and watching the presentation, so she might be able to tell you better. But I believe that you can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 times 4, 28. So you can get about 60 like Spectrum Noir fatter markers into the Denise bag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can get over 100 Copic markers in the Denise bag. One of the benefits with the Denise bag, oh, you can see I even have a row of Sharpies there in the back, right? One of the benefits to the Denise bag, having those 3 little individual boxes, is that markers, once you put them in there, those boxes keep them from falling over. So even if it's not fully loaded, your markers are still going to stay upright so you can see the colored ends and be able to choose what you want. Easy to put the markers back in when you're done with them. You can organize them actually in color order or by color families. And again, if you want to keep them, so when you're going to use them, you're going to leave it standing up straight to use them. But when you're going to store them, you want to keep those markers flat. You're just going to tip the Denise bag on its side. Either way, you've got your markers stored flat. So Denise is a great option for really visible and accessible marker storage, right? So I can easily also take her with me. So depending on whether you use the long, thin bags or whether you use sort of the shorter, thicker bags is going to determine how many buddy bags you get in your tote. But if you think about it, if you've got this stuff stored on your shelf or in your closet at home and you're going to an event, I'm trying to mix it up here, it's so easy to just load up all of those tools and supplies that you might need. And even for the shorter ones, you can go ahead and stack the shorter bags on top. So if you're going to take your couple of Deborah bags, right, those are just going to pop right on top. Now you can see everything from all sides, right? As you get a little bit older and you start to need those readers, putting things into a dark bag, into a bag that has black sides or a black bottom, they get really difficult to see. And that's one of the beautiful things about the Lois bag is that everything is so visible and accessible inside that bag. Now, if you prefer to use The Laura, so this is the Laura 2.0, right? She's got hard plastic on the inside, and that's what gives her her rectangular shape. So she's really nice as a shoulder bag at an event because she stays close to your body, and she's big enough to put things like 12 by 12 paper takers or 12 by 12 collection keepers in the pocket. She's got a band right here that's going to slide over your pull up, you know, your roller bag there. And then loading her up again, she's perfect for those long skinny bags. She is going to work great. So just imagine labeling all the ends of your bag, of your products, and as you drop them in, you can see exactly what you've got. And when you're at that crafting event, pulling things in and out becomes super simple, super easy. Now, depending on how many and what type of bags you're taking, you can get up to 15 or 16 buddy bags right here. Right? You can stack a couple of shorter ones on top of each other. And you can get just a plethora of supplies right into your Laura tote, right? So super easy way to carry a bunch of supplies and be able to see everything that's in there and then be able to pull those things in and out while you're sitting right there at the table. So you can drop this bag right next to you on the floor. Same with the lowest. Pull things out, use them, and drop them right back in that little hole. So it's really easy to keep yourself organized. And then again, when you get home, where did these come from? These are all Monica. When you get home, it's really easy to take those bags out and put them right back on the shelf or wherever you were storing them before you went to your event. So super simple to put things, to take things with you, and then also to put them away when you get done, which is always such a big part of the process, right? When I teach classes at events, I often ask people, how many of you found a bag of goodies that you bought last year at this event while you were packing up to come to the event this year? And almost every hand in the room will go up, and that's because we're not sure where to put things when we get home. Well, this type of storage is really going to solve that problem for you and make it super easy to keep your supplies organized. This week, while you're watching live, this week, buddy bags are on sale. So they range, there are different discounts on them, but up to 30% off. And if you buy, the prices vary on them, but when you buy 10 of them, you get an extra discount, and that will get you to that 30% off. You can mix and match any of the single buddy bags in order to get that discount. It doesn't count on the triple packs. Those are already discounted a little bit more, but it does count on any of the singles. So you can mix and match to get the perfect collection for your supplies. And I kind of rambled off the dimensions of most of the bags as I was talking today, but all of those dimensions are listed on the website as well. If you are looking to store something in particular, you can always email customer service at totally-tiffany.com, and our girl Leanne will let you know exactly the buddy bag that you need to fit your needs or for whatever you're looking for. Also, if you're using a buddy bag for something that we're not talking about or we don't show on the website, we would love to see a picture of it. I think I might have mentioned this earlier, but other people probably want to know about it as well. So send us a picture, tell us why you like it, and we will get a picture of that up on the website so that other people can take advantage of using a buddy bag for that also. So thanks so much for tuning in today. I hope you learned a little bit about the buddy bags. And again, you're welcome to post questions on Facebook or email Leanne, customer service at totally-tiffany.com. Thanks for going live with me, and I look forward to talking to all of you again soon. Bye-bye.
I'm a little nervous about that because I'm in